another tutorial on React. Today we'll be seeing how to implement the Redux framework using the Redux toolkit. So the Redux toolkit simplifies the way we implement Redux. So let's see a simple example how to do that. We look at a simple order tracking application. So let's jump into the example. So let's open a Visual Studio Code. So let's open the sample application. Let's go to open. So we have the structure for the application. So let's create a folder components. So we'll create a order component. This will be our main implementation class. Now we'll create another component called order slice. Order slice component is basically used for including the reducers and the actions in one place. So it's a simplified implementation for Redux. So this is the recommended approach for implementing Redux. Also we'll create a new component called store. Store will be used to maintain the initial state for the Redux. So let's implement our order slice component. We import our required libraries. So basically we have to use the create slice from the Redux toolkit. So let's initialize constant, which will be our initial state. So let's have it as a order. Order is just like a key. So we'll initialize the orders as an empty array. Now let's implement our logic for the order slice. We'll use the create slice. We'll reuse the same order name. It's just like a key for the slice component. And we'll use the initial state. And here we have the reducers. So under reducers we'll have a list of actions. Let's say we have an action called place order. So this action will be used to create a new order. So as you can see, we are having the arguments as state and action. Basically what we are doing is, whenever a new order is created, we are just including into our current state. So this will be called from our order component. Let's look into another action called cancel order. This is used for cancelling an existing order. So again, the parameters are the same. So we just need to filter the cancelled order from the existing state. So that's what we are doing. So the cancelled order won't be shown in the front end. Now let's create another action called update order status. Again, the parameters have to be noted. State action. Here we'll update the status for the existing order. For example, we can have a status as cancelled, delivered. So whatever status we are passing from the front end will be updated here. So what we're doing is we are trying to search the existing orders and update the status. We'll be getting that order ID from the order component, and for that particular order ID we are updating the status. So here we can check if the order is available or if the order is existing. Then what we are doing is, whatever status we are receiving it from the payload, we are just setting it to the order. We can also have an else condition if the order is not found. Just print an alert. Next we'll have an action called set initial state, where we'll be populating some static values from the store. So this will be triggered from the store component, which will be seen in just a minute. This is used to display the existing orders in the store. Now let's export our order slice component. So we have to list all the actions: place order, cancel order, update order status, and set initial orders. Also, we have to export our reducer. So this is how we have to export a reducer. We have to use the dot notation, order slice dot reducer. So let's go to our store component and implement the logic. Again, we'll use our configure store, which is available in the Redux toolkit. Now let's import the order reducer, which is configured in our order slice component, and also the set initial orders. The set initial orders action is used to populate the static data. Here we have to configure our reducer, which we just created for the order slice. Now we have to populate some static data using the store. So this is how it is done. We have to dispatch it to the set initial orders, which will populate the store with some static data. So let's create some static data for the orders. It will have fields like ID, description, and status. And just create two records for the orders. Now we'll export our store component. Now let's move to the other component implementation. We'll import the required libraries. We will have the use state for maintaining variables. I'll be using the use dispatch from the Redux library for dispatching to the respective action, and also the use selector, which is used for setting the state. Also, we are importing the required actions: place order, cancel order, and the update order status. Now let's implement our order component. So we create a constant for dispatch and use the useDispatch method. Then we have to assign the existing state to some constant. We will define it as orders. So already we defined a state which is having a key as order. Under the key name order we have orders. So this is how we are defining. I will define a constant called new order and also a method to set the new order. We'll be using the useState. And we'll define a new constant for updated order ID and we'll be using the useState. So we'll define another constant called new status. We'll just have the default status as pending. Now we'll define the handler methods for placing the order. So basically this will handle the scenario whenever a new order has to be placed. So we have to validate if the new order is having the ID and the description values. Then we have to dispatch to the corresponding action. Place order action which we define in our order slice component. And we are reinitializing the new order as empty, like we're just reinitializing the ID and the description field as blank. Now let's create a handler method for cancelling the order. Again, we are dispatching to the corresponding action to cancel the order. Now we have to create the handle method for updating the status. So let's do that. Again, we have to dispatch to the corresponding action, update order status. So whatever new status we are passing from the front end for the respective order ID, we just update it. And we are reinitializing the corresponding fields, the order ID and the status. So the default status is pending, so we are reinitializing it to pending status.
Or 5 minutes or 5 minutes.
Return script. We'll have a label called place new order. And we'll have a text field for entering the order ID. So the value will be the new order.id. So it will bound to the variable for the new order.id. So whenever the value is entered, we are passing it to the set new order, and we'll use the spread operator for updating the order ID value. We'll have a style attribute just to include some spacing. Let's say we'll have a margin right of 10px. Let's create another text field for the description. Let's bind bind it to new order dot description variable. Then we're using the spread operator for updating the value. So spread operator is basically used for updating selected attributes for an object. Next we'll update the order ID. We'll have a select component where we'll have a list of values for the status. Let's bind this to a new status variable which we declared. So here we are setting the new status. So whatever status we are selecting from the front end is set to this value. So let's include some spacing. So let's include our list of status. Let's have a value, let's say pending. Have a shipped value. Delivered, and also cancelled status. let's include some spacing. And we'll display the existing orders. So whatever is available in our store, the list of static orders which we just saw, we'll just display it in the list. So this orders variable, we already got a reference in the beginning of this order component, where we are using the use selector hook. So we're just iterating through the individual orders. And just display the ID, description, and the status. We just have a button for cancelling the existing order. This will call the handle cancel order. Just pass the order ID. And let's export our order component. And we'll modify our app.js and we'll include our order component. Let's have a label called order tracking system and we include our order component. Let's modify our index.js. So we have to have a reference to the store. For that we have to import the provider component. to have a reference to the store which we just created. Now let's revisit our order component and make sure everything is included. So we have to include a button for updating the order status. Sorry, for placing the order we have to include a button. So this will call our handler method for place order. I'll just rename as update order status. So this will be the button for updating the order status. Let's import the React component. Let's run this application. If you see here, we have the existing orders. This is nothing but the static data which we just populated using the store. Let's create a new order. We'll have an order ID 3 and description as test order. Let's create a place order. So as you can see, the new order has been created. So if we want to update the status for an existing order, let's say for order ID 3, let's change it to delivered. So as you can see, the test order has been created, status of delivered. Now let's create another order. So the new order has been created. We can also update the status as cancelled. So as you can see, we have created a new order and we have cancelled the existing orders. So this is how Redux is implemented using the Redux toolkit library. So it's an easy way to implement Redux. So that's it for today's tutorial. So if you did enjoy the video, please do like, share and subscribe. I'll see you in the upcoming tutorial.